All right, thank you very much. With me now is Republican strategist Kevin Paul Scott, who joins us from Atlanta, where after Nashville, the president will head to the College National Championship, University of Alabama, University of Georgia face-off. And Ellis Hannigan is Metro Papers columnist and author of Trumptitude, The Secret Confessions of Donald's Brain. Okay, all right, let me start with this. And I have to say the farm industry appears, Kevin, to be caught between somewhat of a rock and a hard place. They are mostly, aside from California, which is a huge bread and fruit basket, in red states that voted for President Trump. But they like NAFTA. They love free trade so that they can sell their food to the North and the South here. What happens with this audience? What will he say about NAFTA?
No, you're exactly right, Liz. President Trump is in an audience that tends to be friendly to him, an audience that really, in a lot of ways, helped put him in office. And then he's coming here to Atlanta to support the national championship. I have to say, go Dogs. But I think this is going to be tough. I think he's going to listen. Yes, absolutely. He's going to be listening to his agriculture secretary, Sonny Perdue. He's going to be listening to these farmers. And I think NAFTA ultimately is going to get done. The president is going to employ his tough talk to help Mexico and Canada come to terms that may be a little bit more favorable to the United States, but I don't think he's going to push it so far that the deal falls apart because he understands how important it is to these American farmers.
Okay, so maybe modernize versus just completely vaporize. Ellis, one of the things that the president's tax law and the Republicans' tax law has done was allow companies and farmers to deduct 100% of the cost of new equipment in the year that it's been bought. That's got to be a nice boost. Do they still then need individual sector subsidies? If you're trying to get rid of subsidies and you're trying to get rid of the government propping up certain industries, doesn't the president need to look at that issue as well?
Well, yes, it's time to phase out those subsidies. I mean, you can't defend them forever. What this reminds me of, though, Liz, is you know, we talk about the Trump base as if it's this unified thing, right? But this is a perfect example of why it's more complex than that, right? Some of the folks love the anti-trade, anti-immigrant rhetoric, but yet others depend on trade and depend on immigrants. And the farmers are in exactly that spot right now. It's a more complex equation than we usually think.
We'll see how he straddles that line. We also need access to robust infrastructure. If you listen to the president, he has talked about a $1 trillion infrastructure plan. And Kevin, there was a weird moment during the weekend, a weird 24-hour span at Camp David when the president was meeting with top Republican leadership. He said he wasn't so sure about a public privatization type of partnership where you bring in private companies to do some of this work. And then within the next 24 hours, Gary Cohn, his national economic advisor, had said, and by the way, we're waiting for the president to exit from Air Force One. Gary Cohn came out and laid out a whole thing as to what was going to happen with public-private partnerships. But, you know, I have to tell you, JFK's Terminal 4 is privately run, and it was a disaster this weekend. There was a huge water main break, and this Dutch company, Schiphol, that runs it, had nothing. They had a couple of guys with squeegees and one little machine running around. I mean, 3 guys with a squeegee. It was a complete disaster. There had to be an evacuation.
Yeah, Liz, this is a challenging one because there's a little bit more nuance here. There are areas where we need to focus without public-private partnership, where the profit incentive is not going to be enough to require the infrastructure needed to help in small towns and in communities that desperately need it. At the same time, there are real opportunities where public-private partnership, where the profit incentive really helps solve things quicker. I think the JFK situation is an anomaly. Most of the time, the private businesses, they're going to respond more quickly and more efficiently because they want to get more business. And so I think overall, Gary Cohn is right. I think that's going to be mostly how the administration is going to push because they see the value in public-private partnerships.
I believe, Ellis, a White House spokesperson, again, we are just awaiting the president to disembark from Air Force One in Nashville for a big speech to the American Farm Bureau. I think, though, the president has said he doesn't think that public-private partnership would work, but a White House spokesperson said, well, you know what? Gary Cohn was exactly what Kevin said, possibly right. But now what? As we look forward to what should be something this year, do you expect infrastructure will happen?
I don't know. But the truth is, you got to fund it. Whichever approach you take, and they both have their arguments, but unfunded efforts are not going to work, whether the privates are running it or the public are running it. And we have a generation or more of failure to fund our basic roads, bridges, mass transit systems, airports, you name it, we need more money for it.
Well, the president is now exiting, and you can see he's coming off Air Force One. This group that he is speaking to, the American Farm Bureau, no sitting president has addressed the American Farm Bureau in 25 years. So clearly the president sees an opportunity here, and he knows that many farmers were part of his voting bloc here. And so it'll be very interesting to hear what he says and how he straddles the question between trade and how these farmers love access, because a lot of people are buying what they farm. And then we talk about all that's going on with the stock market, Kevin. It's been quite an incredible run that appears to continue. One quick word about that, as we see we're on track for nearly 5 records at the close.
Yeah. Liz, there's a lot of talk about the president's tweeting and his press conference this weekend and all the things he's saying. And a lot of times we look at the style and people get frustrated. But the substance of what he's accomplishing, it's hard to argue with, at least from a purely economic standpoint. The stock market is doing well. The tax plan was passed. Jobs are doing well. And I think overall there's so much consumer confidence that people are willing to overlook stylistic challenges because they like the substance of what's happening.
Great to see both of you. Thank you so much.